Hello everyone, welcome back to school. My name is Mrs. Ibarra. I'm the first grade remote learning teacher, and I'm very excited to meet everyone and start our new year. I'm going to lead you through this slideshow to explain some things that you'll need to know about our class. Our first slide is the Meet the Teacher slide. This is my 13th year teaching. I taught preschool and then I moved to first grade, and I've been in first grade for 8 years. I did my bachelor's degree at Shawnee State and then my master's degree at WVU. And I just want to motivate everyone to be the best student they can and just help everyone grow and learn a lot this year. I'm married. I have 2 children. My son is Reagan and my daughter is Blair. And we have 2 pets. We have a dog named Lola and a cat named Chase. And we just love to spend time together and playing outside and watching movies. And my birthday is August 25th. Our next slide is about distance learning. So this year, that's kind of what our style of learning is called, where I will be here in the classroom teaching and you will be learning from home. And our expectations are just always be on time. And you'll want to create a quiet learning space that's just for school. So free of distractions like toys and TV. You need to create a school space somewhere in your house. And always have your supplies ready to go. And just be respectful of others during our live meetings. We'll have whole group meetings, small group meetings. And just like at school, wait your turn to talk and be respectful when others are talking. Here is what our daily schedule will look like in a couple weeks. We won't start with this schedule right away. We've got to get used to learning how to navigate Google Classroom and just get used to being online together. But this will be from Monday through Thursday, and it may change from time to time, but I'm really going to try to stick to this the best we can. So at 8:50, everyone will need to log into Google Meets for attendance. At 9 o'clock, we will have a whole group morning meeting, so that means all the students will be online together. And then we'll leave that at 9:15 and do our reading lesson. Then students will have some center time. And then at 10:15, we'll just do a short little brain break where you take a break from being on the computer. 10:30, we start our writing lesson. And then at this time, from 9:15 to 11, I'll be having small group meetings while you guys are working on some of these things independently. And then we have a more flexible lunch and recess time from 11 to 12:30. Now, during this time, some students may still be doing small groups with other teachers. 12:30, we come back together as a whole class for our calendar time. And then 12:45, we have our math lesson. And then 1:15, do some math centers, and those are just like our reading centers. They'll be online. It'll be like a center choice. And then 1:45 to 2 is another recess time or brain break. And this is very similar to the first grade schedule for the students that are doing in-person learning here at school. From 2 to 3 will be another time for me to just meet with students individually or in groups as needed. And on Fridays, you will complete lessons on Google Classroom from your activity teachers. My grading policy is just students are always expected to complete their own work. Practice pages or any homework can be completed together to just make sure it's correct. When students are taking a test or quiz, just make sure they're doing it on their own. It's okay to help them if they're having computer problems, but please don't give out answers. And it just helps me make the instruction what it should be for your child when they're doing these things independently. The next slide is just our homework policy. And this is just a basic first grade homework policy. Things that they'll have nightly include spelling words, sight words, reading the weekly story, practicing math facts, and occasionally there might be an extra math or reading worksheet that needs to be done for homework. And as I said, these are things that all first graders are expected to do in order to be successful. Our classroom rules. So during distance learning, we still have rules that we have to follow to make sure everyone's able to learn and be successful each day. And we're just going to follow our school-wide expectations here at Minford of be safe, be responsible, be respectful, be a Falcon. So if we're doing all of these things together when we're online, then we'll all be great first grade Falcons together. Some school supplies that your students will need are just the basic supplies they need to complete assignments. You know, sometimes I'll send home some cut and glue assignments. So, you know, you'll need these things to be able to complete crafts or different things that we're doing for our class. So pencils, crayons, erasers, scissors, glue sticks. Something that's really important to get for our distance learning class is those small dry erase boards. You can find those Walmart, Dollar Tree, Dollar General. Those are pretty easy to find now. And dry erase markers, because that way students can write on those and just hold it up in front of their camera so that we can do lessons together. A couple other things you might want to have just to make it easier for you at your house is a pencil box or a supply box and earbuds or headphones for laptops. Those are mainly for when students are listening to books and songs. Technology is a huge piece of our class. In order for our distance learning to be successful, students must have working internet and computers. Just make sure they're charged and ready to go each morning so that we can start on time and keep our schedule as much as possible. And I understand technology can be troublesome, so just let me know if you're having any trouble. Just give me an email so I know what's going on, and just log on as soon as you're able to. Okay, Google Classroom is the main part of our distance learning. Everything we do will be done through Google Classroom. Students have an email address and password to log into their specific account, and they will need to do that each day for attendance. They will log in to their Google account and get on Google Classroom. It's where everything will be posted this school year. Lessons, assignments, information about our class, anything and everything will be only on Google Classroom. This is the specific code for my class, and you will need your username and password, like I said, to get on here to join our class. And then the next part of this from our classroom is called Google Meets. So Google Meets will be our live classroom, and this has a link. When you log into Google Classroom, you'll see my class name, then you'll see the Google Classroom code, and then underneath that is the Google Meets link. So whenever students are logging on each morning for attendance, it'll have a little camera beside it, and you click it and it'll just take you right to our live meeting. And our school policies. And this is just a reminder that students are required to follow all school policies even while participating in distance learning, because they are still enrolled in our school district. And if there's any questions, please refer to the student handbook. And some of the subjects we'll cover are reading and language arts. We use a series called Journeys, and students will have a daily PowerPoint where I'll record and they'll watch and participate along with that. And then it'll have a weekly story, some workbook pages, and some other short stories called decodables, all to practice the skills for the week. And then we will also have a weekly test on those skills on Thursdays. Writing will be a daily writer's workshop where we'll work on our specific writing skills. And then there'll also be another writing time during centers called journal writing, which will be like a fun little prompt or a draw and write or maybe some handwriting practice. And for math, we use a series called iReady, and it will follow a similar format to reading. Students will have a daily PowerPoint where they watch me on a recorded lesson, and then they'll have to participate in answering questions, solving problems, and there's games and videos, and it will also have a daily workbook page to go with it. We will also be doing some centers, and this will just be online centers We'll have a choice board. Students will pick 1 center a day for reading and 1 center for math. And just some more important information about our class. The most important part of distance learning is just our ability to work as a team for your child. Parents are playing a vital role this year in making sure your child is up and ready and logged on each morning at 8:50 and ready to start the day. And communication is just a huge key to our success this year. And that leads me into my contact information. If there's anything you ever need, here's my email, the school phone number, and everything is on Google Classroom. There's a parent section, a class info section, and then our weekly lessons are posted in there. And last, I just have some important dates that I know for the future. Today is our open house. Tomorrow, I will see everyone online for our first day of school. And September 7th is Labor Day. That's our first day out of school. So I hope everyone has a wonderful evening, and I will see you online tomorrow morning.